I've got a big Universal Studios Hollywood update for you this week, so how about you and I dive right in. Now, before we get started with today's video, if you want to help support the channel, you can do so by following the link down below to my Etsy shop where I have 2 Theme Park Obsession pins available. I have limited supplies of both and they look so good in person, especially my favorite pin, the California inspired pin. That one has over 20 different colors and the details are incredible. Placing your order is super easy and I ship all around the world. I just sent out 2 to Australia, so huge shout out to those that picked up some pins down under. And once I get the notification, I package them myself and I send them off to the post office. So it's super easy, it's super quick. And yeah, again, if you want to help support the channel, do so by checking out the store. Thanks so much for those that have already placed their orders and have received their pins. Huge shout out to all of you. But with that, let's head back to Universal Studios Hollywood. Made it back to Universal Studios Hollywood this week on this beautiful SoCal day. It's a little hazy, but that's all right. It still feels great outside. At the time of recording, it's about 1:30 and there's still a few people trickling into the theme park. It's nice. I'm sure the park stays open till at least like 9 or 10 this evening. Made it through the security and into the main entrance plaza and greeted by the ET soundtrack. Oh yeah, my favorite. Every single time I hear it, I say that on the channel because it's just so universal. It gets you in the mood. Still no movement on the globe today. They're having a little issue with it, and it seems like these past few weeks, so hopefully they'll get it spinning very soon. And just like that, we've officially made it in the park. You know the drill, let's head to the plaza and then check up on that Halloween Horror Nights haunted house that's being built at the Parisian Courtyard. Yeah, Fast and the Furious has officially made it to theaters. Oh yeah, 10 movies already, and apparently they got 3 more in the pipeline. It's crazy. I still have absolutely no clue what they could be talking about for 3 more movies. And here you go, here's your week's look at the Halloween Horror Nights haunted house that's being built in the Parisian Courtyard this year. Last year it was La Llorona. This year it's a big mystery. The company has yet to officially announce what this one is supposed to be, but I'm thinking it's going to be called Jimmy Fallon. It's not a tramtastic day, so I'm really looking forward to that. But in all seriousness, the facade is looking absolutely gorgeous. Shout out to the scenic crew that just distresses all these things and makes it look all nice and scary and spooky. And last week, if you remember, they were just getting started on that distressing on the facade, but this week it looks to be complete. So that is looking really good. It's incredible how quick details appear just in a matter of a few days. And this one is looking to be another great facade for the books because, I mean, yeah, lately the facades have been really, really good. And I'm so glad that this year, like I've said many times before, that this year they're continuing with the really detailed facades for Halloween Horror Nights. As far as what it might be, I was saying last week that it kind of gives me the vibes of like some sort of elementary school or kindergarten just because of the different colors out front. I know a lot of other people online are saying it might be something out of a cemetery, like a mausoleum or something. So hey, you never know. Again, super excited for the announcement eventually when that does happen. I'm assuming the announcements are going to be sometime this summer. We still have yet to get an announcement. And by this time last year, we were already getting announcements for some of the Halloween Horror Nights haunted houses. So fingers crossed we get something here in the next couple days. And as far as some serious action, yeah, work continues on the demo of the animal actor stage and the special effects stage. Crews are very active today as far as walking around and on top of the roof of the old animal actors and special effects show building. So that is really nice to see crews working very hard today. There's not really too much happening where the equipment is right now because last week they were digging up a lot of that concrete and ripping all that up. This week, I don't really see anything happening, or at least big changes, but we haven't got to the other side of the building yet, so we'll eventually make our way over there. But exciting things are happening in this corner of the park, and I am stoked. Moving around to the other side, yeah, not a lot happening. The trees are still here, and the building itself is still there. And same with this side, not a lot happening that is visible from this angle, but we do know that they are starting to demo the back half, and then that building, crews are working on the roof on that building that's behind this particular stage, and then over at special effects stage, a lot of crews are up on that roof. By the way, here's some of the wait times on a Monday. 40 minutes for Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, Studio Tour 20 minutes, Jurassic World 60, Mario Kart is at 90 minutes. Yeah, Revenge of the Mummy at 40, same with Transformers, so not too shabby. And then from this side, not a lot happening either. I do hear a compressor though, so they might be working on the inside. You can see they do have some scaffolding set up. That's how crews are getting to the top of the building. And another thing that I've noticed over the construction fence, just from this vantage point into the Simpsons land, they've removed the top of the canopy and then some of the support structure for that canopy. So I would assume that they're doing some concrete work down here if they've removed those steel beams. But yeah, as far as anything else, I don't see anything. As far as anything on the building, nothing on that front, but just the scaffolding and then the canopy that sits over the waiting area. Made my way around the corner, and yeah, look at this. They officially have a wall up and some hedges, and there is some equipment back here. I can kind of see through the little crack there in the wall that they do have some equipment. And there's a lot of crews on the top of the roof again this week. I'm not going to zoom in too much, but I do see some demolition happening on the top of the roof, which is really exciting. As far as anything on the side here, there's not a lot happening. I would assume if they're going to tear the building down, they're going to work on the back end of it. So that Universal sign, that classic Universal sign, I really hope that they save that or find a way to reutilize it in whatever is coming here, because that sign is really iconic. And then yeah, here's the back side. Not a lot happening on this side. Again, I still hope they keep that sign. As far as the fire road here, looks like we got some equipment on the fire road. Oh, and look at this on the other side of the Starway. Looks like we have a new fence that has been put up around this particular section of the park. I know they are digging a hole underneath this escalator, because the past couple weeks that I've ridden the tram, I've noticed that over here in the corner. So maybe that is having to do with that project, or it could be the bigger project that is happening over here at the special effects and animal actors stage. We're gonna keep an eye on it for sure, because yeah, this is new. Oh wow, look at this. Okay, I was hearing some noises and I was like, where the heck is that coming from? It's coming from the roof, and look at this. What are they doing up there? Okay, well that's interesting. So if they are building something up there, I wonder if they're gonna go ahead and save the building for whatever they're doing long term. Very interesting development over here. This project is already so much fun to watch, just with the demo happening behind animal actors and then the mystery thing happening on the top of the roof of special effects stage. Every single day it seems like something new is happening, and that's what's so fun about the construction process when they build new attractions or shows or whatever it's going to be, churro stand, popcorn stand, is you just never know what's going to happen. And when you document it like this, it's just fun to look back and see the changes progress. And we all got to remember that Universal is definitely not done with this park. Super Nintendo World is not the end of it. They want to continue, because don't forget, the Olympics are coming here to California in the summer of 2028. We'll be hosting the Olympics, and I'm sure Universal has some amazing plans. So that way, when people do come to visit California for the Olympics, well, Universal is going to be a nice place to visit as well. And remember, NBC hosts the Olympics, so it's going to be a really good tie-in for Universal when the Olympics do show up here in 2028. So yeah, I think this is just the, Nintendo was just the start. Secret Life of Pets was built, and now whatever this is going to be, and I'm sure even when this is done, they're going to move on to the next thing. Looking down into the lower lot, here is your week's look at the Halloween Horror Nights haunted houses down here. One behind Revenge of the Mummy is seeing some work as they're starting to build out what could be the facade for this particular haunted house. Last week we were guessing if the facade was going to be in the front or the back, and I was thinking that because there is a cutout right here and some of those 2x4s are protruding out from the main layout, that we could see that the facade goes here in the front. And then obviously off in the distance they're still working on the haunted house over there behind Transformers, but this week they've painted it black, so that initial fire coating has been applied to it. I'm sure a lot of scenic is happening on the inside as well. Still some good news over here at Super Nintendo World. You do not need a reservation, which is very nice. Now obviously these kind of things can change depending on holidays and some weekends if the park does get extremely busy. Just keep in mind they could do the reservation system, but at least the past couple weeks it's been pretty good. Made my way back up to the upper lot. I went downstairs for a little bit, and you can actually see that thing that they're building on top of the special effects stage from the Nintendo World entrance, which is pretty cool. So yeah, whatever they're doing up there, it's definitely noticeable in numerous areas of the park. Made it back over here to the lookout. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and skip out on the studio tour today, just because I feel like there's not gonna be too many significant changes on the Halloween Horror Nights haunted houses in the Curious George surface lot. And as far as what we can see from here, there's really not a lot going on, because I've literally walked up and down the stairs. I've walked around this whole entire area. There's really just not a lot other than what we've been seeing on the roof and of course back here. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and skip it this week, and then next week hopefully there'll be some bigger changes. But yeah, again, really excited to see what eventually goes in this spot. They are working on something, and oh man, always excited for new things coming to Universal Studios and just all theme parks in general. Now, before I officially close it out, I went back to the park the following day because I was just like, you know what? I want to get one more look, get a couple more pickup shots, and I'm glad I was able to, because crews were working on the special effects building, and there was also a crew member down on the side of the hill by the lookout that was taking some measurements. So I'm glad I was able to go back to the park to get a couple more shots for you guys for this update. Now, that crew member that was taking measurements on the hill, he was just by himself, and he was taking measurements from the retaining wall that is connected to the fire road all the way down to the Frankenstein parking garage. Now, as I worked my way around the corner towards the exit of the former special effects show, I noticed that crews were working on more of those frames that I had showed you earlier on in the video. They added like another 4 or 5, maybe even 6 of them, and they were working on another one as I was leaving the park. And what's interesting about these is they're actually connected, at least from the view that I got, it looks like they're connected to a steel beam that is part of the existing structure, the existing skeleton of special effects. So that makes me wonder if they are going to demo some of this stuff, maybe they're only going to demo certain aspects of the building that they can get rid of, and then maybe they'll just save other pieces of it, because they are building what looks to be the frame or just the beginnings of something bigger, like a bigger building that goes a little bit taller than the special effects building. So yeah, I'm going to definitely keep an eye on this part of the project as well, because now I'm kind of curious how much of the building they're going to tear apart. And on the fire road, more equipment is starting to show up. We got a lift that showed up overnight, and then I think there was another dumpster that showed up too. So yeah, they are working on removing a lot of the elements from animal actors and special effects, and it looks like they're just getting started on what could be some heavy work. And then on the Halloween Horror Nights front, with that haunted house down by Revenge of the Mummy, crews are working really quick on extending what looks to be the facade for that attraction. They put up another wall, and they've also started putting up sheets of plywood to complete that section of the haunted house. So that's very nice. So I'm assuming by the time next week rolls around and I have another update, that section will be fully enclosed. And with that, I think we're gonna make our way out of the park. That was fun. Well, I think it's gonna do it for today's video from Universal Studios Hollywood. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and you love these updates from the park and some of your other favorite theme parks, consider subscribing, because I have brand new videos every single week. Be sure to check out the Instagram account. I'll leave a link down below so you can do that. And of course on Twitter as well, at Park Obsession on Twitter. So be sure to check that out. But until the next video, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is. And I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.